you hurt somebody.
Oh, yeah.
All you see is in red.
I like to be perfect. I like to be the fittest, the best I can be getting in there, because I know once you're in there, it's just you in there.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like, I fought the best in the world and it gets hard in there. So I fought the likes of RODTANG, and trust me, it gets hard in there.
Well, obviously, what's keeping you busy is your brother's fighting. Your dad did it, you did it, now your younger brother's doing it. Do you guys spar?
It's funny when you say, do we spar? Because we actually had a spar a few weeks ago and had to piece him off.
You got a big fight coming up, February 20th in Qatar. Tell me a little about your opponent that you're fighting.
I feel like he's going to try and put the pressure on me, and I don't think it's going to work in his favour. I think I'm going to apply the pressure, if I'm honest.
Well, that's how you fight
Oh,
him.
yeah. I'll give him something strong at first, just to let him know.
Oh, it's 15-time world champion Demetrious Johnson. You're listening to the Mightycast.
What's going on, guys? This episode of the Mightycast is sponsored by PrizePicks. Now, PrizePicks is a daily fantasy sports game where you can play directly from your phone. It's very simple. All you gotta do is go to your app store, download PrizePicks, and when you do that, make sure you use my promo code MightyCast. Cool promotion going on right now. All you gotta do is play $5 and you're gonna win $50 no matter what happens in the lineup. Now, your lineup could be mixed martial arts, NHL, NBA. Unfortunately, no more NFL, but it'll be back soon. So make sure you're locking your picks at the right place, which is PrizePicks. We are in Bangkok, Thailand. That's right, the birthplace of Muay Thai. And I bumped into a good friend of mine, Jonathan the General Haggerty. If you guys don't know who he was the former Bantamweight Muay Thai champion, and he's also the current Bantamweight Kickboxing world champion. He's taking on and defending his belt in Qatar and won 171 Qatar as he takes on Wei Rui. Hope you guys enjoy this episode of the Mightycast. Let's enjoy the talk with Jonathan Haggerty. Enjoy. Are you live with that one right now too?
Yeah, I've been rolling.
Okay, perfect. All right, we're gonna rock it. Okay, in 3, 2, 1. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of the Mightycast, and I am joined by the one and only Jonathan the General Haggerty. Haggerty, how you doing, brother?
I'm great, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. Man, I want to start out, big fan. I've seen you fight multiple times. I see you fight in Denver, seen you fight in Manila. Your stand-up, I believe, is probably one of the cleanest. The way you throw your technique, the way you control the distance, the void, your high kicks, the elbow. Just want to start off, I'm a big fan and I love your work, man.
Thank you very much. Likewise. Likewise.
Thank you. Now, let's talk about, I have family that live in England. And as we were talking earlier in the elevator, how did you get into Muay Thai, right? Typically, people who do Muay Thai, and, I might be ignorant or naive. I don't know everything. I'm not going to pretend like I do know everything. But typically, if you do Muay Thai, you live in Thailand, right? That's just the nature of not the nature of the beast, but it's the nature of the country. Like, if you live in Thailand, you do Muay Thai. But you coming from the UK, I talked to my family. I was like, yeah, you guys have a world champion in Muay Thai and kickboxing. And they're like, oh, what's his name? I was like, his name is Jonathan Haggerty. And he goes, that's interesting. Why would an Englishman from our country do Muay Thai? So how did you get exposed to Muay Thai living in, England?
Yeah, I agree. It's unheard of being a Thai boxer in the UK. I actually started off at kickboxing. I done a light semi-contact kickboxing fight at the age of I'd say about 9, and I got disqualified for it. Obviously, it was light semi-contact, so I didn't really enjoy that. So ever since then, I told my dad I don't really want to do the kickboxing. And then his mate got his son into Thai boxing at Keddle's gym, and then my dad said, okay, I'm going to bring my son up there. So I went up there, and it's a funny story. There was a few world champions up there at my age, and they partnered me up with them, and they really, not disrespected, but they just took no notice of me, the kids. And then when they was holding pads to me, they was looking about, not interested. So I just threw a high kick, where he weren't really concentrating, and it hit him straight in the head, and he started crying. And I felt a little bit bad, but I thought, well, pay attention, you know.
Of course,
pay attention. But ever since then, I've enjoyed Thai boxing. So I think I started at around about 9.
9 years old.
Training at around about 7, 6.
And when did you have that first semi-contact kickboxing fight?
So about 9.
About 9, okay,
Yeah.
okay. And then how did you get disqualified from that competition? Was you just going too hard? Or was it because in America we have, karate point right? You either the chest gear, the head gear, and it's like, start over again, right? Is it something like that?
I mean, yeah, it was quite similar. I was unknown to it. I turned up with no t-shirt on, like small shorts. They all had like their suits on, their head guard and all that. And I think I just threw a straight right, and it just like exploded his nose, and it was just like, oh, this doesn't look too good.
You're like, I thought we were fighting.
Yeah, fighting. I got in the zone too much.
Okay. And your dad brought you into that. So did your dad, was he kickboxer? Was he a Thai boxer? What was his background?
So he was an MMA fighter.
Okay.
Yeah, and I used to train with his coach, Dennis, years and years ago. I didn't really enjoy it because he was like a big guy, and I was like only young, and I was like, oh damn it, I've got to go and train with this guy.
Yeah.
It was quite scary, but it's paid off. But yeah, he was an MMA fighter, my dad, and then he opened up his own gym, and ever since then I just fell in love with it.
Wow. So your UFC stage was probably not mixed martial arts. You did kickboxing. So through high school, did you do any other sports? Like, were you doing basketball, football, or wrestling? Or was it like, I started in kickboxing at 9 years old. I'm going to stick with this. Granted that your dad started, his roots are, well, what you've been exposed to was mixed martial arts.
Yes. I mean, football was my thing. I used to love football.
Soccer.
Soccer, yeah.
Okay.
Soccer. So I used to love soccer.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually quite good at it. I got signed to a few teams, Fulham, Charlton. So I was quite good at it. So I had to pick between football or Thai boxing.
Damn.
Not sure why I picked Thai boxing, but I chose to get punched in the face for a living. But I enjoyed it. I love it, and I'm very grateful that I've stuck at it and I've picked that sport.
Now, would you ever go back to playing soccer? Like after, because you're still young. You're what, 30?
27.
27. So you're still young. So you do 3 more years and, Thai box, kickbox, you're like, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to try to get a couple more zeros on my check. Because,
be nice.
Soccer, I mean, they make some fat checks. If you're one of the best in the world, you get on a great team or whatnot. Would that be something you would do after you're done fighting, do you think?
I've always liked football. I even watch it now. Yeah. I like football. I like playing it. It's quite fun. It's a lot funner than Thai boxing, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Maybe, who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? Left-footed. They might need a left footer out there, so who knows?
Hey, I love that. I didn't know you were into soccer. I mean, obviously, it's kind of like if you grew up in Brazil, you either do jiu-jitsu, you do soccer. In the UK, it's the same thing. Soccer, unheard of for Thai. Thai boxing, because when I was talking to my family, they're like, yeah, he does Thai boxing. And I was like, you guys know what that is? He goes, no. And then I was like, typically we see the boxers like Anthony Joshua, Daniel Dubois, etc. And so it was very fascinating. I was like, I'm gonna have to ask Jonathan Haggerty about that. Like, what brought him into kickboxing? Because if they haven't heard of it in that country and they've lived there their whole life, how the hell did he hear about it? But it was your father.
I mean, I did like boxing. I did want to get into boxing. So every time I used to train with a coach, they used to always say, get your son into boxing. It's where the money's at. Mm-hmm. It's where everything's at. So my dad didn't really want me to do that because of the punches to the head.
Yeah. But elbows are okay.
The head kicks are fine. But I think it's just like the hours of sparring, the rounds of sparring, it just takes its toll. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people did say get into boxing.
Yeah.
Who knows? Turnover.
Yeah. I mean, you did kickboxing, Muay Thai. Now, I want to talk about one of the things that I always find fascinating in kickboxing and Muay Thai is that what was your path to get to where you are now? Obviously, that's a long journey, but you fought Superlek before, right? It's almost like everybody fights each other at some point in their career, right? Because when you first started taking your amateur fights in Muay Thai kickboxing, where did that take place? Was that in the UK, or did you start traveling over to, we had Izzy Adesanya on here. He was doing a lot of his work in China.
Yeah.
What was your journey in that Thai boxing and kickboxing?
So I started off amateur fights in the UK. I didn't really have a lot, to be fair. Like, there was kids out there that I was fighting. I was turning up to the venues, and I opened up the book to see who I was fighting, because I didn't obviously know. And he had like 12 world titles on his shoulders, and I was just there like with no belts.
Yeah.
And I was just turn up, and I'll start my amateur career in the UK, fighting the best in the UK. Mm-hmm. And then I didn't really have much, if I'm honest. Yeah. Didn't have much. I jumped a lot of ladders throughout the amateur and the pro career just to get to the top as quick as possible.
Yeah.
So yeah, I started all in the UK. Had 1 or 2 fights in Thailand when I was young. Apart from that, it was all in the UK.
Yeah. And then when did you make that transition to coming over to Thai and making it to that next level? Because obviously you didn't fight the highest level in the UK, Like, I'm not sure, you have to refresh my memory. Where did you and Superlek first fight in kickboxing? Or Muay Thai, excuse me.
Thai boxing, we first fought in Bolton Football Stadium.
Okay.
In the Bolton Football Stadium in, I think it was, 2017.
And is that in Thailand? Is that
No, that's in the UK.
That's in the UK?
Yeah, that's
So
our
he
first
came
fight.
to your country to fight you. Wow. I thought, because typically when you see, you know, big fights like that, it's usually in Thailand or it might be in Japan, right? Because, you know, my first exposure to kickboxing, and not really Muay Thai, but it was kickboxing first, then Muay Thai, was K1. Always in Japan, right? So I figured that fight was in Japan. But he came to you.
Yeah, he came over to us. So we was fighting on a big show called Yokai at the time. Mm-hmm. It was like one of the biggest shows in the UK, in Europe. And they used to bring over the best fighters, the best Thais to fight against the best UK fighters. Oh. So that's what they done. He actually came in overweight for that fight.
Did he?
65 kilo. And I was only a 57 kilo fighter.
Damn, so he's massive.
Yeah.
Massive. Everybody.
He said he won't cut weight. He got there, he was like, I'm not cutting weight.
Yeah. Well, I find it very fascinating because you can tell me, what is it like? Because in mixed martial arts and wrestling, it's embedded in the culture of cutting weight.
Yeah.
Right? Is it embedded in the culture of Thai boxing and kickboxing to cut weight?
Yeah, a lot of people do cut weight.
Oh.
I think they see it as an advantage. I used to see it as an advantage, but then I think to myself, it's not, because when I used to get into round 3, when I used to be at flyweight, I used to be like, can't find my legs.
Yeah.
Like, I'm knackered.
Yeah.
But everyone thinks that they'll cut down to a certain weight and then get in the ring and be big and strong.
Yep.
Doesn't work like that.
I don't know how the fuck you made 135. Like, I was walking next to you, I was like, how the fuck you make 135? You're not, I mean, there's no fat on you already, right? And you're walking around, I mean, you were saying you're walking around like maybe 155, 148, 155. And I'm like, you're kind of 135 and you're hydrated. I was like, how the fuck you doing that? He was like, I'm hurt, man. I'm hurting.
It was a real struggle, you know. I think we ended up in hospital a few times. I think twice we ended up in hospital trying to do it. I used to take like 3 minutes just to get out of bed. Fight week, just so I don't pull anything.
Yeah.
It was terrible. It was the worst experience ever. But to stay at the top of that division for so long when I was so depleted, like, it just showed a lot about myself.
Oh yeah, 1000%.
But I'm happy I'm up now.
Yeah. Oh, I bet it's better for your longevity of your career. Your muscles probably feel better. You have more fluid around your brain. That's one of the things that we always talk about. But doctors talk about is like when you cut all that massive weight, you're taking all the fluid out of your body and around your brain. That's what helps your brain if you get rocked, which I think 9 out of 10 times it happens in Muay Thai because you guys are literally going back and forth.
Yeah, I just remember sometimes at flyweight when I was getting jabbed to the head and I was like, the flashes were coming, you know, like the shutters come down from a jab. I was like, why is this happening? Because it doesn't happen in sparring.
Yeah. Because you're fucking 150.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, even like the body shots took its toll. Mm-hmm. The body shots took its toll, so it wasn't the greatest weight for me.
I had it set up perfect, ladies and gentlemen. I had it perfect. And this fucking man.
These stands are just like, it's just not.
It's heavy. Yeah, I always find it fascinating because I feel like when it comes to Muay Thai and you see a lot of athletes miss weight, right? And obviously there's a difference in the hydration cut and all that. And I feel that it's probably not embedded in the culture of Muay Thai. Like wrestling, it's like, you know, I started cutting weight when I was fucking 15, 16 years old. And when I became an adult, and it's like, oh, I get, you know, in wrestling, it's like, oh, you got to show up. You know, you go to school, you're cutting weight all damn day. And then after school, you got, you know, probably 2 more pounds to cut. So you're running, spitting in a water bottle. Then you weigh in and it's like, oh, you're wrestling in 2 hours. Yeah. So when you become a professional athlete, it's like, oh, you tell me I can cut weight and then I got 24 hours to rehydrate. Oh, this is fucking easy.
Yeah.
But when I see, you know, most likely the Thai guys, they show up and it's like they're dehydrated and they're overweight. And it's like, I don't think that's part of the culture.
Yeah.
But you're saying it is.
I mean, they do it last minute, you know? For instance, like people fighting, they'll have a massive breakfast. Like this morning, I've seen a lot of them eating massive breakfast. And then they'll just cut the water. But with one championship, like you said, it's like hydration. You need to do it properly. So you need to do it like gradually.
Yeah.
More, like...
What's going on, guys? This episode of the Mightycast is sponsored by Mattress. Now, ladies and gentlemen, sleeping is something that we do every single day, and there's no reason why you guys should skimp on your mattress. And make sure you guys take the Bear Sleep Quiz screen recording. That's gonna let them know what type of sleep you like to aim for. If you like to sleep on a firm mattress, a springy mattress, or whatever you like to aim for when you're trying to get the best sleep at night. I was matched with the Bear Elite Hyper, which is a 14-inch luxury mattress with zone coils for added pressure points and relief. Unlike other brands, Bear mattresses also do not contain fiberglass, which could be detrimental to your health. All the Bear mattresses are also created without the use of harmful chemicals, so you can sleep safely and soundly knowing there will be no off-gassing. I've had my Bear mattress for over 2 months now, and let me tell you something, guys. When my daughter comes and kicks me out of my bed and I have to go sleep in her bed, your boy's not happy. I don't get my 92 sleep score whatsoever. And the best part about mattress is that it is delivered directly to your front doorstep. It showed up at my front doorstep. I brought that box in. Me and my wife carried it upstairs, cut that bad boy open. It's gonna come in a very nice saran wrap plastic. You're gonna open that bad boy up, cut it, and make sure before you cut it, you put it on top of your bed. That way when it inflates, you're gonna pick up this heavy mattress and put it on there. Go to bearmattress.com/mighty. That's gonna help you save 40% on your new mattress. And it's also gonna come with 2 free pillows. It's 2025. Stop sleeping on your old mattress. And the cool thing about Bear Mattress is that they're gonna give you 120 days to sleep on this mattress to see if you love it or can they get a better mattress to you right at your door. Make sure you use my promo code MIGHTY or scan the QR code on the screen and I'll take you directly to the website. Use my promo code MIGHTY and that's gonna save you 40% and get you 2 free pillows. Shout out to Bear Mattress for sponsoring the episode on Mightycast. Now, let us get back to our guest. So then when it comes to kickboxing, right, I felt like a lot of people who do kickboxing or Muay Thai, they always transition into mixed martial arts.
Yeah.
Right? Like, Izzy said he did it. Look at Alex Bejeda, Mirko Krokop, Mark Hunt. I mean, the list just goes on, like the greatest kickboxers. And you don't really see a lot of, actually, you might see, it's very hard. I feel like K1 is a form of Muay Thai. You can't hold in the clinch. You can't throw elbows, but you can throw the lead knee, whatnot. So I feel, you know, it's not the same, but it kind of is. But a lot of those guys transition into mixed martial arts because I believe the money's probably better. Why haven't you transitioned to mixed martial arts yet?
I mean, the main reason why I haven't transitioned is because I'm at the top. I'm at the title contentions. I've got the belts. It is definitely something on my mind that I want to do.
Yeah.
I've been saying it for years, but obviously I've been busy winning the titles and being in like title contention, and my mind's been strictly on that, like being the best I can in this organisation. But yeah, I am gagging to have an MMA fight for sure. I'm sure you want me to as well.
I mean, I just feel I think people don't realize like the fight starts on the feet.
Exactly.
That's where it starts first, right? So if I'm a grappler or a wrestler, everybody's like, oh man, how'd you do against Jonathan Haggerty? I was like, oh, I'm taking that motherfucker down. And I was like, he's longer than me. He's probably faster than me. He's got that fucking, you think I'm gonna let that motherfucker hit me with
Perfect
that?
size for it.
Perfect size for it, right? You ain't gotta jump, you just go like this. There you go, child, take that. I'm gonna take you down. But you know, you can sprawl. I have to get across the void to get to you. Right? So I feel like you have the perfect, structure for mixed martial arts, and your stand-up so good. And I'm like, and I feel that's where the money is. Right? Obviously, I feel like mixed martial art is so big now with social media, TikTok, all that stuff, that's where everybody ends up doing. And I'm like, I think Jonathan Haggerty, you already fought Fabricio Andrade, which is the champion in mixed martial arts in a division, and he tends to stay on the feet as well. And you guys fought in kickboxing, and you beat him. And his background's in kickboxing, but the striking's different in MMA, right? MMA striking compared to kickboxing, Muay Thai striking, it's completely different, night and day difference. So I'm like, well, you just beat the champion in mixed martial arts in kickboxing, and he's not, the biggest wrestler. And I love Fabricio Andrade; she's got great jiu-jitsu, but you beat him at how he beats everybody else. Like when he fought Kwan, body kick. You do the same shit. So I'm like, he can be world champion in mixed martial arts too.
I mean, it's the fight that I wanted, you know. I was obviously waiting for them to say. I mean, I think it was only fair I gave him the chance at my stand-up world.
Absolutely.
Let me have the chance at yours. I think it'll be a great fight. Like you said, it's a lot different, obviously, than just striking. You have to be wary about the takedowns, etc. But I can adapt, and I think it'll be a great fight, and it'll be a lot closer than a lot of people think.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, like I said, you're athletic. You come from a background of mixed martial arts because that's where your dad started in. And I always I find it intriguing when people are like, you know what? I started in mixed martial arts, but I actually enjoyed this a lot more.
Yeah.
Right? Then they go and do that. You've been very successful at the top of the game, not just in Muay Thai, but also in kickboxing. And I'm like, I wonder when Haggerty's going to go into MMA, because you look at people who come from one discipline in martial arts. You want a Paychecks, Alex Bejeda, is Adesanya. I mean, the list just goes on of just guys who
Proven, right?
It's proven. It's proven. And you look at the discipline of people who come from Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Bibiano Fernandes, Damian Maia. I mean, the list just goes on. They are successful because they're able to take people out of the game that they haven't had as much experience in, right? So I'm just excited. I can't wait to see it happen.
Do you think it's time?
I mean, how you liking your paychecks? You want more money?
I mean, you could always want more. You always want more.
Yeah.
But I think time's coming. The time's coming.
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
It's got to be soon.
Yeah, well, I mean, you are getting older, and obviously the difference between, as I talk to guys like Eddie Alvarez, who completely left mixed martial arts, just do bare knuckle fighting. They say the training from mixed martial arts to just doing one discipline is literally night and day difference. It's way better. Like, you ain't gotta worry about your knees, you don't gotta worry about the grappling, you ain't gotta worry about the wrestling. It's just you can focus on one thing. Where when you do mixed martial arts, you gotta focus on everything. You gotta make sure you got, your wrestling on point, your clinch, you got the clinch game on point. You just have to focus more on the grappling and triangles, which will lead to more injuries in your training, where I'm sure when you do the Muay Thai training, it's not as, I'm assuming you don't beat your body up as much from the wrestling jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. I think it's a lot different, like you said, for the jiu-jitsu, the wrestling. But I'm interested in it, and I'm excited to get that training. Not sure where I'll train. That's one of the big parts. I'd have to think about where I'll be training. But yeah, when it does happen, I'm excited for it.
I think we all will be.
Definitely.
Now, you've been doing most of your training in Thailand.
Yeah.
Now, what is the reason for you doing all your training in Thailand instead of doing it back home in the UK?
So I always told myself, I used to always do the camp in the UK, and I used to see guys going over to Thailand, and I used to be like, why does everyone go over to Thailand?
Yeah.
I never went to Thailand to train because I felt like, which I do, I feel like I still do have the best coach in the world.
Yeah.
Christian Knowles, we've got a great bond. We train well together. And so what I've done is I've basically brought Chris over to Thailand with me. He comes over with me. So we train in that environment, the heat, the everything around it really, the Thai boxing culture. So I've done the Nong-O fight camp out there.
The whole camp?
Say about the last 5 weeks, and it was brilliant. We have to come only to Bangkok, fly to Bangkok, hour flight.
Oh,
and
it's an hour flight from UK?
No, from Koh Samui.
Oh, Koh Samui, okay.
From the UK,
yep,
it's like 13 hours, and like that was just a little bit much. So we done half the camp for Nong-O over in Thailand, and it was perfect. So ever since then, we've done the Lobo, the Andrade fight camp in Thailand, and it's been great.
Yeah.
So ever since then, we've just done everything in Thailand. We've got a little base called Lamai Muay Thai. They let us use a space. We train out of there, and everything's perfect out there. So
and your trainer comes with you full time, 5 weeks, 8 weeks, whatever it is.
Yeah.
He leaves his family behind.
Yeah. It's a lot of sacrifice. Like the one we done for Denver, it was like a 13-week fight camp. He actually brought his family out this time because it was going to be a long time. It was a long fight camp for the Superlek one, but we're all in it together.
Yeah.
If I win, he wins.
Yep.
So yeah, we all come out together.
13 weeks. Now,
Long.
walk me through a training camp of the best in the world at Muay Thai kickboxing, because I feel like 8 weeks is sufficient enough for mixed martial arts. And the reason I say it is that you're always in shape.
Yeah.
Right? I am too. So in that 8-week camp, we're covering so much more because there's so much more on the table when it comes to the fight. Or okay, we got to make sure jiu-jitsu is good. We get our grappling rounds. We got to make sure we got our Muay Thai rounds in. We got to get our kickboxing rounds in. And then we got to do jiu-jitsu, the wrestling rounds. There's so much to cover. How much shit are you covering when it's just one discipline in Muay Thai or kickboxing? Because it's all on the feet. So you're not really, and you've fucking seen everything. So what are you covering in that 13 weeks or 8 weeks in a training camp for Muay Thai and kickboxing?
I like to be perfect. I like to be the fittest, the best I can be getting in there, because I know once you're in there, it's just you in there.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like, I fought the best in the world and it gets hard in there. So I fought the likes of RODTANG, and trust me, it gets hard in there. So I make sure I'm the fittest I can be.
Yep.
The first 4 weeks, the first month, I'd say is getting fit.
Yeah.
So you can like work on your reactions more in fight camp. But and in the next six weeks, it's repetitive. It's just day in, day out, two times a day, hitting the pads, 10 rounds or 20 rounds a day on the pads. Shins are sore, but you get conditioned.
Yeah.
I obviously implement my strength and conditioning every Tuesday and Thursday, so I'll miss out one session in the morning, pads, and exchange it for strength and conditioning. I also like to swim underwater. I do my underwater swimming. It's just more like repetitive stuff. Day in, day out.
Do you think you get it done less time? Like, could you be like, okay, all right, guys, we've been doing this shit so many years. Let's cut this motherfucker in half. Let's do 7 weeks instead of 13, 14 weeks. I mean,
I feel like I won't be ready.
Really?
Yeah, I'm like, I need it to be perfect. Chris, my trainer, always says to me, you could do 7 weeks easy.
Yeah.
Like normal people do you could do 7 weeks. I need longer.
I just don't
I
feel
don't need longer, but I want longer.
So let me ask you a question. What are you doing after you're done fighting? Like, I don't see you getting fat. I don't see you like, you know, the motherfuckers, I can't keep, like, I feel like you're always in the gym. You're always healthy. You're always staying sharp.
Yeah.
And I get it. You need those 2 weeks to get your time and your eyesight good and you're feeling things. So, like, I feel you. I don't know. Like I said, what are you doing between training camps? Because you're doing 13 weeks.
Yeah.
And I'm sure in the Muay Thai fights, they are brutal. I seen them live. I seen you do it. And I'm just like, I don't know how, like, you guys beat your body up.
Thank you. Yeah, it's tough. But yeah, after a fight camp, I'm lost. What do I do now? I've just done 13 weeks of repetitive stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm even still wake up at like 6 in the morning still, like when I'm not in fight camp, and I'm just like, what can I do? Go for a run around the park?
Yeah.
Go train in the gym?
Yeah.
It's just the same old stuff.
So what do you do? Because that's we'll get to that part after this. I mean, you're still young in your career, but I feel that, like, when you're involved in that, because you don't have any kids yet, right? No kids. You're not married. You and your missus are. That's looking like the future for you guys. So, like, what is that like? Like, for me, when I was at training camp, I had children. I was pressure washing the fence. I had shit to maintain and get the kids to school. So for me, it was an easy transition when I got done fighting. I was like, all right, come on, get your little asses in the car. I got back into normal citizen life, as I called it. But for you, you do 13 weeks. You're you're banging the pads out. You're running up the hill. You're the best around. What is it like when you get home? You're like, all right, well, fucking...
What do
I do now?
Sometimes I take a few weeks off. Or I take a few weeks off and I feel like I deserve. If I've, like my last fight where I lost, I felt like I can't take my foot off the pedal. Yeah. I don't deserve a rest.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I just call myself a housewife.
Yeah.
Off the fight camp. I'm just indoors, chilling. I like to go to a lot of restaurants. Restaurants is my thing. Apart from that, I'm just cooling.
Good.
Working on myself.
Yeah.
Not much.
You're fucking eyebrows. Working on myself, just trying to find myself. Where do I belong besides in the ring?
Yeah, but I tell Chris we need a fight ASAP.
Yeah. Well, I always find it fascinating because I think that's the hardest thing for fighters when they transition outside, when they transition from being the best in the world, being a high performing athlete into the normal, everyday person. Not just in fighting, but in football, basketball, baseball, whatever. Not really golf. Golf is like a leisure sport. From our background, don't get me wrong, they were fucking amazing athletes, but it's more like you're not pushing your heart rate to 185 beats per minute. So I feel like that's always the hardest thing for athletes from our background, where it's like, okay, once you're done with your camp, it's like, what do I do now? And when I hear you're doing 13 weeks, you know, you want to be perfect, and I get it. When you get done, I was like, what does that man do after he's done 13 weeks doing the same shit every single day?
I think you need to you need to keep yourself busy. Like, for instance, now I'm building a website. I want to build up some gyms, some franchise gyms. So I feel like that's what's going to be on the cards after this fight. It was going to be after the last fight, but I thought, I'm not taking my foot off the pedal. I'm going to keep training, keep motivated. So I think just keeping yourself busy is the main thing after fight camp, is what you need to do. Keep your mind in it still. So yeah.
Okay. Well, obviously, what's keeping you busy is your brother's fighting.
Yep.
Okay. What's that like? That's like a family affair, right? It's like everybody's doing it. Your dad did it, you did it, now your younger brother's doing it.
Yep.
What's that fucking like?
It's cool, you know. I like to see him succeed. He's been growing up watching me do what I want to do and being at the top, and he's always been there watching. So now I'm thankful it's his turn, and the plan is to make him better than what I am.
Yeah.
You know, he's got the stepping stone now to overtake me. So it's just up to him now.
Yeah. What's the age difference?
I think we're 6 years apart.
6 years apart.
6 years apart.
How does mom feel about this?
Yes, my mum loves it. You know,
Really?
she loves the fighting game. Like Freddie was actually in the theatre in the West End. I'm not sure if you know. Like he was in the theatre, like in the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. It's like it's quite big in the UK, like in the theatres in the West End.
Okay.
He didn't enjoy it too much because he was going to secondary school. He didn't want to be known as being in the theatre, like dancing, all this.
Okay.
So he told himself, I want to be a fighter like my brother.
Okay.
So he took it upon himself to quit the theatre stuff and become a fighter. But like I said, my mum wanted him to do the theatre stuff, which is a no-brainer really. No punches to the head.
Of course. Yeah.
But she comes out to all our fights.
Yep.
She comes out everywhere. She's been to every single one of my fights. She loves it. She's there. She was actually meal prepping for me before I got a nutritionist. She's cooking all my food. She's in the gym with us. She works behind the gym desk, my dad's gym's desk. So it's a family affair, like you said, and we're all in it together. So it's great.
That's crazy. I can imagine my younger brother fighting. I'm like, oh, he's got schizophrenic bipolar, so he wouldn't do it. But it's like when it's very rare you see, I feel like in the sport of mixed martial arts, kickboxing, Muay Thai, granted, I don't know every single fighter out there, but I see you fighting, you're whooping ass, you're the champ, and then, you know, your brother, he's coming up doing the same thing. And I'm like, I wonder how it is at, you know, dinner table. Like, do you guys spar?
Yeah, do you know what? It's funny when you say, do we spar? Because we actually had a spar a few weeks ago and had to piece him off. My dad was always like, because my dad trains my brother, right?
Oh, okay.
My dad trains my brother. I train with Chris.
Oh.
And then my dad goes, he's coming for you. He's coming for you. You know he's coming for you. Why don't you have a spar with him? Yeah. All the time he goes, spar with him, spar with him. I'm like, no, I'm training. And I thought, all right, cool. I'll put the gloves on. And I thought we had a little bit of a boxing spar, and I thought I had to show him who the big brother is. Yeah. But it was enjoyable, and it was enjoyable punching him.
So you're 27, he's 6 years younger, so he's 21 or 22.
He's 20, so he might be 7 years younger.
Okay, sorry. Okay.
Maths isn't really my great.
That's okay. That's okay. Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. He's still young and healthy. He ain't going to CTE. We're just trying to do simple math. So he's 20 years old, and you just said that your dad trains him.
Yep.
And you train with your coach.
Yep.
What is that dynamic like that? At some point in time, your dad was your trainer.
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
And then when you left dad, you're like, hey, dad, I'm going to go train with this gentleman. How was that relationship like?
So he basically linked me up with Christian Knowles.
Oh, okay.
So he liked the way Christian Knowles trained his fighters. Christian was obviously a great fighter himself. He fought like the likes of Dylan White. He was a world champion. So my dad sort of liked the way he trains people. Even his brother Lyndon, they're beasts. And my dad said, yeah, I'm going to take you down to Christian Knowles to train with him. And then my dad used to come and watch. He used to take me, watch me train with Chris. And he just liked the dynamic of us two. And then ever since then, it's just been me and Chris.
Gotcha. He was like, you take him, Chris. That motherfucker don't listen to me.
We used to argue a lot when we used to train. You know what it's like when you're training with your dad. But my little brother and my dad get on quite well training-wise. They have their little bits of tit for tat, but it's all good.
Gotcha. Do you ever think your dad's going to say, hey, you know what? Freddie is your brother's name.
Yeah.
All right, Freddie, it's time for you to go, follow in Jonathan's, footsteps, go train with Chris. If you need me, I'm always going to be here. Do you think that time's ever going to come, or is your dad like, nah, this one, I'm going to show you how. I'm going to show you, John.
I'm going to breed this. I think, you know what it is with my dad? He didn't like my teeps. I think that's what it was. Yeah, I used to just teep all the time, and he's just like, can't deal with this. Go to Chris.
Yeah, you're fucking done. Yeah. You don't fucking listen. You didn't listen at home. It's time to do homework. Get the fuck out of here, Jonathan.
Yeah. But yeah, it will come to it now. Like Fred's training with a coach in Thailand now at the moment called Jack from Muay Thai. They get on great together. So Fred's actually doing his fight camps in Thailand now as well, a little bit more.
Really?
Yeah, so he's done about 3 weeks out here now. He's finishing it off out here, so he's getting on well with a coach called Jack from Muay. So.
Okay. And when did he start training in Thai boxing?
When did he start training? About the same age.
9 years old?
Yeah, yeah. He's always been doing it.
Damn, that's what's up. Okay, one of the things I always wanted to ask you is when you made that transition, when they gave you the opportunity to fight, you were doing Muay Thai, and you got the opportunity to fight kickboxing, right? And you fought Fabricio Andrade. This is the first time you got the opportunity to be a two-sport divisional champion. Walk me through that process of you know, obviously it's a little switch at, you can't use your favorite thing, which is your elbows, but you got the opportunity to become a two-divisional sport champion. Walk me through that opportunity that you got.
Yeah, when they offered us the fight, we took it with both hands, you know. We thought, Chris told me, and I knew myself, my style is a little bit like kickboxing, bouncing about, move footwork. It's just that the elbows weren't included, which is a bit of a downer. But we adapted to it. We added short right hands instead of elbows. We was a little bit worried that we'd get carried away in there and we might throw an elbow. Or even like clinch or catch the leg and all that sort of stuff you do in Thai boxing. But we adapted really well. I adapted really well. I was surprising myself. I think that was one of my best performances. Not having to worry about an elbow coming back at you. It let me just explode on him and just give him everything that I could have, instead of like, you know, when you're in Thai boxing, you have to be a little bit more calculated and you can't throw too many shots at once. When I fought Andrade, I was just like, yeah, let's go. let's go for it. Did you like going from the MMA gloves to the big boxing gloves, or do you prefer to stay in the little MMA gloves? I prefer the 4-ounce MMA gloves for sure, 100%. I mean, I don't prefer getting hit by them. But yeah, I even train with MMA gloves, like 4-ounce gloves. I like training with smaller gloves, but it's taking its toll now a little bit.
But you don't wrap your hands, right?
Not in training, no.
But when you fight, you do.
Well, this is the thing. I didn't. I haven't wrapped my hands a few times.
That's what I was gonna say, because I remember like being back there, and they're like, "That motherfucker don't do no hand wrap. He don't do any." I think he's like,
just one tape round the wrist
for the commission. That's it. There's only, I think Eddie Wineland, he's an MMA guy. He didn't wrap his fucking hands out. He goes, nah, but the commissioner's like, you got to put something on there. And he goes, there you go. And he would fucking just crack people. And you don't put any, you know, gauze or anything like that.
No, but then I think where it took a turn, is when they offered me a fight and then my hands were damaged. And it was a big fight and I wanted to take it. And ever since then I thought, I just got to wrap my hands. You know, I think the owner like wasn't happy with me. Chachi wasn't happy. He was like, you need to start wrapping your hands.
Of course, you're fucking, you're, you know, at the end of the day, you're an asset.
Yeah,
right?
For sure.
You bring the company views, money, and all that stuff. And if an asset is basically damaging himself when he can, you know, prevent that, it's like, you need to wrap the fuck up, man. You know how much money we paying you? You know how much, like, it makes sense. I think it's better.
I think my dad's been telling me for years.
That's why you don't train with them anymore, because you don't fucking listen. It's a team, but you don't listen. Now, I want to talk to you about that fight against Nong-O.
Yeah.
That was a fucking banger.
That was a great one.
That was a fucking banger. Like when you pop, and you hit him. And that's one thing you do too when you fight, is that when you hurt somebody.
Oh yeah.
It's all you see is fucking red. Like you just fucking go.
Yeah, punches are flying off my head. Like they're punching me back and they're just bouncing off me.
Yeah.
And I'm just going for it.
Yeah. And that's when you beat him, that's when you won that title, the 135. Because you fought at, for the ladies, you don't follow the sport of Muay Thai. In one championship we have the hydration clause, right? And so when I fought here, I usually fight in America at 125. I fought at 135, but that's still flyweight. That's where you fought first. You became the world champion at flyweight.
Yep.
You end up losing that belt. Then you moved up to 145, which is bantamweight. And the king there, he looked unbeatable, looked dangerous, amazing knockouts. And I was like, guys, Haggerty's got the skill to beat him. But Nong-O has looked unbeatable, knocking people out left and right. And what does the general do? Comes and starts this motherfucker. Walk me through that fight. When you had him hurt, it was like, get the fuck out the way, ref. Like, let me get in there and finish the job.
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you a funny story before the fight. I remember they offered me the fight and I called my dad. I was buzzing. I was calling Dad, they've given me the Nong-O fight. He's like, don't take that fight. He said, don't take that fight. He's a bigger version of RODTANG.
Yeah.
I was like, thanks, Dad. I was buzzing for that. But then I said, you know what? I'm going to take it. Chris believes in me. I believe in myself.
Yeah.
I believe I've got what it takes to beat Nong-O. So when I landed that overhand right and he dropped, I was just like, wow. Yeah. I think I even said, I screamed like, what the hell? And then I remember hearing like last 10 seconds after the round. Yep. And I was like, push the ref out of the way. I was like, let me at him. Because if this guy goes back and recovers, I'm in trouble. So I weren't letting him recover. So I pushed, remember Olivier Coste, I pushed him out of the way and I just went for it. And then I was just like, wow.
When you say that, there has to be a self-conscious, intelligent thing that you have to make that decision. Like, okay, get the fuck, I gotta go. How do you build that in training, or is that just over time of you fighting so many times? Right? Because the MMA, we don't spar to hurt people, right? So, and even when we train in mixed martial arts, we don't throw elbows.
Yeah.
Like to the face, we just don't do it because you can cut somebody. So it's something that we don't really train. Like we do train it, but we don't throw it in sparring.
Yeah.
So it's almost kind of like uncharted territories when we get in a fight. Or in sparring, I typically don't hurt somebody by rocking them. So when I rocked Adriano, it's like, it just, you know, you have to like have it in you. So how do you build up that intelligence in Muay Thai? Like, are you hurting your partners in sparring? Because you're like, get the fuck out the way. Get out the way. I got to go. I got to go.
Let me at him.
Yeah. Or is it something you build over time of just so many years of fighting at the highest level?
I think it's just natural killer instinct. Because funny enough, I don't really spar a lot.
Oh, really?
I didn't spar once for the Superlek fight.
What?
But look what happened.
But hey. There's only something you can do because, you know.
I didn't spar for a lot of fights before that.
Yeah.
I think it's just natural killer instinct. You know, once I see red, I see red.
Yeah.
I think I've had a few knockouts in my career, so it's just been like normal to me now. Just like know what to do. Once they're hurt, I know what to do. Just put the pressure on.
Yeah.
Apply the pressure.
Well, that's one of the things I love about watching you fight, because when you fought that Lobo fight, you guys going back and forth talking shit. Like, he hurt you, you're like, ah. That's one thing I love.
I remember watching the breakdown. It was great.
Yeah, because you're like, he hurt you, you're like, ah, you can take 10. You're like, ah, motherfucker, okay. All right, motherfucker. My turn. And you get him and you drop and you're like, you done? You fucking done? Oh, dude, that's one thing, like, when you can get emotionally attached to the athlete, because there's so many good fighters around the world, right? That's what I tell people. But what separates the athlete from the other person, for me, is the story.
Yeah.
The charisma, the swag, the character. And that's where I think I love about watching you fight.
Thank you.
Is just the character you bring. And it's like, you know what? Like, we're going to fucking go out there. And that back and forth, there's a little trash talk back and forth to the lead up, because you fought somebody, you beat them, and he was talking shit in the corner. And so there's already a little build up. You know, I don't let people know I follow the stories, but one of your stories, and he was talking shit. And they're like, okay, motherfucker, we gonna run it.
Yeah, you're next.
You're next. It comes down and you guys are fucking fighting. He hurts you. You're like, okay, all right, here we go. We're in it. Then you hurt him and you're like, you done? You fucking done? And that's why I think separates you from the everyday athlete. Everybody's fucking good. Everybody's good. But I think that's what people love about when you fight, is that when you hurt, you can take it and you can dish it.
Yeah.
And that fight, when I broke it down, I loved every bit of it.
I loved it too, bro. yeah, it's good. It was great. I loved it. But yeah, I like to be like a little bit like flamboyant as well. Like even like the likes of the shorts. Just comes down to little things like that, really, like the bows on your arms, your ring entrance. Like you need to be the whole part. You know, sell yourself, and that's what I like to do.
I fucking love it. I'm here for it.
Thank you.
Now let's move on to something that's, you know, a little bit sore eyes, and that happened. We talked about earlier today, is the Superlek fight, right? Superlek was on a tear.
Yeah.
Right. He beat RODTANG. I don't know if it was before you. I think he beat RODTANG.
Yeah.
Then he was coming after you. Walk me through that fight. We were there live. You guys came inside the void. You guys came together. You threw a punch. He threw the elbow. Timed you perfectly. You got hit, and it was almost like you were just out. You weren't like, you know, concussed, but you're like, fuck me, running sideways. Walk me through that first exchange you guys had. It was like this second exchange. You guys came through, and then the second one was like, bop, he caught you, and then you're like, fuck.
I mean, I felt on fire, absolutely on fire. I was ready. And I think I caught him with a nice jab, I caught him with a nice hook, and I felt like I hurt him. Even my coach takes accountability for the mistake that we made, and we rushed in a little bit too much. I heard him say now, and then I thought, yeah, natural killer instinct, let's go for it. You know, I've been punched in the face a few times, a lot of times, elbowed in the face, broken nose, and I've seen the flash, the shutters come down for about a second, and I'm back in the room. This one, I think it wasn't really too much of a power shot. It was a bit like, it was just on the temple. The shutters come down for 3 seconds, and I was like, damn, the shutters ain't been down this long before. Next thing you know, I'm on the floor, trying to beat the count. Got up. I feel like I got up at around about 8 when the ref said 8, and then he must have seen something in my eyes that obviously a lot of people didn't. He's there to help, you know. Respect to him. He's there to look after us. So his decision was to call the fight off. So it's gutting.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people know this as well, and I haven't really told anyone. It's not like an excuse or anything, but I got a phone call at 7 in the morning that morning that my granddad passed away.
Oh, fuck, man.
So that was hard as well. So I think a little part of me was to get in there and like just go for the knockout, like angry, technique out the window. But it is what it is. Yeah. We move forward and on to the next one.
Yeah. I'm sorry to hear about your that phone call you got, man.
Thank
It was funny because my son, they have your I think it's Maverick. He has your autograph in his room up top, and he was there live watching the fight. And he was like, "Oh man, that fight!" He was like, "Dad, who are you gonna go interview in Thailand?" I was like, "I'm gonna go interview Jonathan Haggerty." He goes, "Oh man, that fight was it ended so quick, but man, I was so pumped to see him fight." And I was like, "Well, I'll let him know that." So
amazing. Thank you.
You got a fan in my my middle son. So
top man.
It's right there. I'll send you pictures just so you don't know I'm not fucking
lying.
Sure. All right, like you said, we move forward. You got a big fight coming up.
Yep.
February 20th in Qatar. Tell me about a little bit of your athlete. This is the thing about kickboxing is that there's so many athletes. You're defending your belt. Now you're defending your belt in kickboxing. Tell me a little about your opponent that you're fighting.
Yeah, so we're fighting the Chinese number 1 in the division, Wei Rui. He's obviously there for a reason. He's great. He's a great, credible opponent. I feel like he hasn't fought anybody like myself. He's a southpaw, which I like to fight against southpaws. He likes the inside kick. I don't want to give too much away.
That's okay. You ain't got to do that, baby.
Yeah. Are you releasing this after or before?
This would be a week before the fight.
Okay,
Let's just say that.
Yeah. We know what he's going to bring. So we're excited for it as well. So it's going to be a great show. Yeah. It's going to be great.
Well, it's always interesting because, like I said, there's so many people in kickboxing. Some come, some go. Like Hiro Akamoto, he's in that division as well. He was a champion at one point. Then a Thai guy came and beat him. I don't even know what happened to that Thai guy. Where's he at? And so in this division, so many people come and go. So when you're fighting this guy, Wei Rui, you said his name is?
Yeah, Wei Rui.
Wei Rui. I never heard of him, never seen him fight. And I was like, I'm curious to get Jonathan Haggerty's thoughts on this athlete. Obviously, he's fighting for the title. And, you know, I've never seen him fight, so I wanted to get your piece on, like, what are the things that we can expect from him to bring to you when you guys fight?
I feel like he's going to go off for my last fight, you know? Everyone is.
They ain't no elbows, though, baby.
Well, true. But everybody goes off for my last fight with RODTANG as well. Yeah. Body shots. Everyone said they're going to come for my body.
Yep.
They see one thing that they help me with and they feel like they can do it.
Yep.
But it's great because they're targeting that when I know what I'm going to counter with. So I feel like he's going to try and put the pressure on me, and I don't think it's going to work in his favour, if I'm honest. So I think I'm going to apply the pressure, if I'm honest.
Yeah. Well, that's how you fucking fight anyway. I don't think I ever see you once like, actually, you do have a unique style. Like, that. You have a unique style. It's like you don't sit there and stand in the pocket and just bang. Yeah. Right? You're in and out. You're moving. You're cutting angles. You're moving. You're throwing high kicks. So I think it's very hard to pressure you.
Yeah.
I think that's, a lot of people don't want to, believe it, but that's one of the things that RODTANG had a hard time doing against you is trying to track you down.
Yep.
And they're like, come on, stand there and fight. And I was like, nah, dog, like this is kickboxing. This is Muay Thai. You don't have to have the traditional K1 style. It's like 5-piece combination for you, 5-piece combination for me, right? It's just not going to happen. Like not everybody's built to take those shots.
Yeah.
So I think it's a unique style that people don't really realize when you fight, you bring a different style than everybody else does.
Yeah, I feel like it's a little bit difficult to fight myself. Like with the footwork, like you said, I'm not there like the kickboxers, like 1 for 1. You know how they fight and they spar? It's not going to be like that. I'm going to hit you and you're not going to be able to hit me. It's basically hit and don't get hit. That's the sort of game plan I'm going in there with. So I'm excited for this one. I'm definitely excited. As much as it's hard to not just stand in the middle of the ring and have a scrap. It depends on the opponent. If we're trash talking or it depends on what his strengths are. If his strengths are coming forward, then I'm not going to try and beat his strengths. I'm just going to work away from that.
Yep.
So so I'm just excited to see what he brings in the first 30 seconds. Hopefully, it's
fucking 30 seconds. I was like, I always tell everybody, I was like, man, you got 5 rounds, baby. 5 rounds. Take your time. Yeah, champ, you got 5 rounds. So you can take your time. You're like, just move around, see how it is.
I'll give him something strong at first, just to let him know. See how he deals with that.
You give him a little appetizer?
Yeah, exactly. And then we'll go from there. I know how to level change. Like, obviously not in MMA level change.
Yeah.
But like from the strengths and the speed and all that sort of stuff. So yeah.
How and do you prefer to fight in a ring or a cage?
So my first few fights, one championship, were in a cage.
Yep.
And I loved the cage. Like obviously, growing up, watching everybody fighting in the cage, it was a bit of me. I loved the cage. But then obviously, my footwork sometimes it was going back. And then I felt like the ropes were great for me to bounce off the ropes a little bit, get a little bit more leverage. So I'd say I like the ring a little bit more, if I'm honest.
Well, I feel like you have four corners. You can track the opponent down, you can get your elbows off, you get your kicks off, and then you can also maneuver out of that. But I feel like for your style, you probably I feel like every striker favors the ring more than the wrestlers. We favor the cage a lot more because we're able to pin you up against it, take you down, and be able to use it to our ability.
Yeah, and I feel like I'm just used to, like, growing up, I've been in a ring, so it makes sense. So yeah, footwork wise, knowing where you are in the ring as well is great.
Here's another question I want to always ask somebody. I feel like in kickboxing, before One Championship came, there was no real good money to be made in kickboxing Muay Thai, right? Am I fair to say that?
Yeah, for sure, definitely.
So what was it like for you getting an opportunity and say, holy shit, here's a promotion that's actually putting forth the money, the effort to get this sport to where it is today and be able to pay the athletes a lot more?
Yeah, it was great, you know, like, so starting Muay Thai, it was for the love, you know, everyone still has a job. In the UK, people will fight and they'll still have a job, and I don't know how they maintain that, because that could be quite difficult. So hats off to them, respect to them that do that 9 to 5 while training for a fight. But having the organisation like One Championship come along for you to pursue your dream and do what you love full time is great. I'm very grateful for that. And it's helped a lot. It's helped me grow as a person as well. So now getting the championship money as well, it's like, it's all paid off. Yeah. You know, I haven't done this from such a young age for nothing. It's paying off. And I'm grateful for everyone that's been around me, helping me on this career.
Love that. How much was your first paycheck when you fought in Muay Thai? You got your first paycheck. How much
Talking about the UK or?
Just when you first fucking step on there, it's like, I'm a professional, Dad. I ain't taking your shit, Dad. You know what? Fuck you. I love my teams. My team's gonna bring you. I'm gonna
get this $700.
$700.
I think so.
That was your first?
I think so. Like, I feel like you get your money from ticket sales. That's where the money's at. I think your purse turn up probably like 500 quid.
Wow.
And then you get like £1,500 from ticket sales if you're a good ticket seller.
Yeah.
So I feel like people were working on selling their tickets more than training.
Yeah. We have guys in our areas who do mixed martial arts, and that's how they make, when they're at that lower level, that's how they make their money. So the first paycheck you got from Muay Thai was $700.
About that, yeah.
$700. And then what was the first time you got that? Like, how much was it the first time you got that big check? You're like, this is fucking it. Like, I'm about to go buy me a nice. I see you got a Rolex, you got the root beer on.
Yeah.
What was that first check like? Like, my first check when I was like, fuck, man, we made it, was probably 20 the show, 20 the show, 20 the win.
I think it was Sam A after I beat Sam A. For the belt.
Yeah.
Yeah, they hit me with like a 25K win.
Yep.
And then like, I think it was like 10K win bonus as well. They was giving out, so World Championship were giving out Rolexes for the winners who won the world titles.
Yeah, I fucking missed that area.
Do you know what? So when I won the title, that was that title was the first time they stopped doing it.
You're like, fuck.
So when I was in hospital bed, my coach was like, does he get his Rolex?
Yeah.
And like, oh no, we actually stopped that. I was like, damn it. So yeah, I'm a bit. So yeah, I think it's about 25K Sam A fight.
Nice.
And then, yeah.
I always like to ask the athletes that, because a lot of people don't realize, like, when you become professional, you're not making the best money right off the bat, right? Like, my first fight in mixed martial arts, it was like $250 a show, $250 a win. And then after that, it went up to like, I think it was $300 a show, $200 a win. And I remember when it was $750 all together. I can't remember what the show and win was. I remember when I won that call, I was like, we're going to go to Best Buy, buy a fucking laptop. I'm so pumped. What was the first thing you bought when you was like, you know what? I'm going to treat myself. I want to buy myself something. What was it?
It was the Rolex.
Rolex?
Yeah, I bought it off my friend built his own company up, watch company.
Okay.
And I bought a Rolex off him from his company, yeah.
That's what's up, man. You still got the Rolex today?
Nah, I exchanged it, got a better one.
Okay, what'd you get?
So it was a Yachtmaster.
Oh, Yachtmaster.
I got the Yachtmaster. So my dad actually had this one as well, and I used to always like it. So I got the same one, but he had the full gold one.
Okay.
And I thought I'd get the stainless because I couldn't afford the full gold.
What's your in-game watch? Your in-game watch, like it's like when you're ready. Like mine at one point in time was a Paddock, 5711 Nautilus. That was like my end game. Like I was like, fuck man. I was like, when I'm done, when I make it, I'm gonna get this watch. Like when I'm like, they're like a 6-figure watch. It's like 100, maybe if you can get it retail, good luck.
Yeah.
But to get it like aftermarket, you're looking maybe 150, 250, depending on the material you get. If it's gonna be rose gold, yellow gold, whatever it is. What is your in-game watch?
I'm gonna go the same with you, Paychecks.
Paychecks.
Yeah, but I do like the Daytona Platinums.
The Daytona Platinum.
Yeah.
My wife's into those, man. I just can't. The chronograph, like it's very busy in the middle. So I'm like, God, what you say Daytona, what model? The Daytona, the Panda, the John Mayer.
I can't remember what one it's got like the light blue face.
The light blue. That's the Platinum.
The
Platinum.
The Platinum one. That's my favorite one.
Okay, all right.
Or the Paychecks, yeah, for sure.
Paychecks.
Rose gold.
Okay, all right.
Better win this fight.
Yeah, win that fight. I'm judging. I need that fucking Paychecks. Give it to me now.
Yeah.
I want to talk about your misses, right?
Yep.
My wife has been with me since my second amateur fight. Since the wins, the losses, cried on the couch like, I ain't fucking never losing again, baby. How long you and your missus been together?
So we've been together for now 2 years, and we got together for the Nong-O fight. We met each other when I was training for the Nong-O fight. So she didn't know what to expect, and it was a bit much sometimes. But she stuck by me. She knows how hard it can get and how tough it is, and credit to her for being a wonderful girlfriend to me.
Yeah. So, well, if you met her during a Nong-O fight, last time I heard, well, you told me, not heard, you told me that you do all your training camps in Thailand. So, did you meet her in Thailand, or was that back in the UK?
It's a little bit of a complicated one.
He's trying me. He's like,
damn.
How are we this girl? I like to listen when I talk to my guests.
I've known her for actually a few years now. Like when I was training at Kettle's gym.
Okay.
I knew her uncle. And I always sort of had my eye on her. So I knew what I wanted, and myself, I get what I want.
Oh my God.
So I've known her for a few years, and then we just hit it off, and then it's been great ever since.
And what's it like? Like, obviously now you probably don't cut a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Right? When you're cutting down to flyweight to 135 to, now 145 more, a healthier weight, like what's it like during fight week with her? Like do you bring her along, or are you like, hey, for me, when I go to my fight week, I'm like, baby, you gotta get the fuck back. Yeah. Let me get here, do my thing. I'll let you know. I'll text you when you come to dinner and all that stuff, because I'm focused on the mission at hand. How is it with your missus when it comes to fight week? Are you an asshole? Some of my boys some of my guys are like, I don't want to be around her. I don't want to be catering to her. I'm going to do my own fucking thing. How are you guys' relationship when it comes to that time during fight week?
So I'm a lot different. I don't need her there. Obviously, I want her there. Like, I prefer my girlfriend with me fight week throughout the whole fight camp.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Throughout the whole fight camp, she's there with me, and I feel like it's great for me. I can sleep well. It's something like a little bit like comfort, if you know what I mean. After I've finished hard training or dieting, like it's nice to go home to your missus. So yeah, I'm thankful that she's able to pursue my dream with me. So very grateful. And
what does she do for a living? Is she full time?
So she actually quit her job to come out to Thailand and live out in Thailand for 9 months with me.
Really?
Yeah. She came out to Thailand with me, quit her job. We had 2 fights. We had the Andrade and the Lobo fight. So very thankful that she actually dedicated herself to my career.
Yeah.
But now she's doing herself, and she's doing her fitness. She's into her fitness journey now, which is great. Both us into our fitness, which helps. So she's smashing it at the moment.
Okay.
And she's not here with me fight week.
What?
Yeah, and I'm a little bit lost. But she comes out Friday.
Okay.
Friday, yeah.
That's what's up. That's what I always ask, because a lot of people I've talked to multiple athletes. They want to separate.
Yeah.
They don't want nothing to do. It's no disrespect, right? But they say, I just want to focus on, I want to be the best version of myself. And I've always felt the best version of myself was always going to be with my wife and my children.
Yeah.
I feel like they help break up the monotony, right? Especially for you, 13 weeks in Thailand. It was just you, your coach. You ain't getting no good loving. You ain't getting no cuddling. None of that stuff. You're just sitting there like, just gotta get this. It's kind of like you're missing a piece of yourself, right? And I always wanted to, because I see her, like, even after your fight, when you fought Superlek in Denver, Colorado, she was there comforting you and basically like being a part of the journey, because like you said, when you win, everybody wins. When you lose, we all lose.
100%.
And I always like to ask other athletes who are at the top, how is their relationship, their dynamic in this fight game?
Yeah, like she's there full time with me. She's there she's in fight camp. When I'm in fight camp, she's in fight camp, which I'm very thankful for, because she eats healthy. Yep. She trains. She likes to be the fittest that she can be. So it works hand in hand, and it's great to have that sort of relationship where we both enjoy what we're doing fitness wise. So it's very helpful. Does
she love Thailand? If she can choose, would she love to stay live here full time in Thailand, or does she love the UK?
We both love Thailand. We love Thailand. But obviously now we've got commitments. She's got a job now. She's doing her full time training stuff. She's had a niece. She's got a baby niece as well. Her sister's had a baby. So I think it's only fair that we go back to the UK and experience a little bit more like life instead of being on the island constantly waking up, not knowing what to do, just going on the beach. It does get a little bit boring though, if I'm honest. Yeah. It's not reality.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it could be reality if you wanted it to be.
Well, yeah, 100%. Definitely.
Would you raise kids out here? No? Just to chill, relax, and like, what I'm going to do, da-da-da-da.
Yeah. I think I'd raise them in the UK. For sure.
And do you guys want children?
Yeah, 100%.
Would you have your kids fight?
I mean, I wouldn't force them to.
Yeah.
But if they wanted to, then why not? Well, I will tell them it's hard. Yeah. It could get difficult.
Yeah.
You will get $700 for the first fight.
He was like, Dad, you pay me that just to fucking run around here and do whatever I want.
Yeah, I'll tell him it gets difficult. It's not all like bright lights and all that as you see it. But if he wanted to do it or she wanted to do it, then all for it.
What if your missus, because how old is she? You guys about the same rough age? 27?
She's 30. I'm 27.
She's 30. So what if she's like, man, I just want to do one movie. Has she fought before?
No, never. But funny you said that, because when we was coming out to Thailand the first time, she wanted to do it. Like, she can punch.
Yeah.
Like, she can punch. I know firsthand.
Yeah. You fucking jackass. Whack!
Yeah, no, I would love her to be able to have a fight. She wanted to, but I don't know how I feel about that in the corner. Yeah. I have to just jump in there.
You always take her to the fucking place Michael fought, have her take a beer, like, all right, don't worry about it. Just keep your hands up and just fucking move, stick and move.
Maybe that's what we'll have to try first. But I feel she's a natural. She'll be good at it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, especially since she's fit, right? I think that's the one thing that a lot of people don't really take care of themselves nowadays, right? Is they don't really put themselves, because my wife, before we got together, she wasn't really into fitness, right? But now she's been doing fitness for like the last 18 years we've been together. And, today she's in there jump rope. And I was like, fuck, man, why are you so goddamn athletic? I was like, the fuck? I was like, we should have did something with that. But she goes, no, I just like, and she did jujitsu, but she goes, fuck this. I like to have my hair. I like my earrings. I like my jewelry. I ain't got time. She was like, and it's not built for her body. Like, she'll injure her knee or somebody will throw her, and she's like, I'm not doing it. So, yeah. I always get curious, like, what is it like for, you, and has your missus ever like, I think I should fucking fight once, baby. Just give me once. You think you're top shit? Let me do it.
Yeah, she's definitely said that to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She said she wants to. She might even do like a white collar boxing or something.
Okay. Would you train her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
think you guys?
She's a southpah.
Okay.
So it's a little bit difficult, them south.
Yeah. You got to change the things. You ain't held the fucking pads right. You're not focused on me, honey. Like, oh, here we go now. Yeah, I'm not focused on you.
Yeah, she can definitely do it for sure.
Yeah.
Anything she puts her mind to, she can do it anyway.
Okay.
So yeah, she's quite good at that.
That's what's up. Well.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, is there anything you want to let the fans know? Like, we appreciate you giving us the time. I know you're busy during fight week, getting ready for helping your brother get ready for his fight, and you got a big fight coming up. How can people support you, find you, social media, this your opportunity to let people know how to
Yeah,
support
so
you.
the best place to find me is probably on Instagram, jhaggy_. My YouTube channel as well, Jonathan Haggerty. I've got some up and coming fight vlogs coming up. So yeah, tune in February the 20th. It's going to be a great fight in Qatar. And follow the socials and keep up with my training.
That's what's up. That is our guest, Jonathan the General Haggerty. Make sure you guys go follow his social media and his YouTube channel. He's got some pretty banger videos. As always, I'm your host, Demetrious Johnson. That is my guest, Jonathan Haggerty.
Thank you.
Jonathan, thank you for stopping by, brother.
Thank you very
Appreciate it,
much.
man.
Thanks
Good luck
for
in your
having
fight,
me.
man. I can't
Thank
wait.
you.
I can't wait to see what you're going to come out with. You're like, you done yet, motherfucker? Get back up. I can't wait.
I'm going to do that for you.
Please.
Yes.
I read it, I was like, he's talking to us, boys. He's talking to us right here.
Yeah, for sure. Wicked. Thank you very much. for
Absolutely,
having me.
man.
Pleasure.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We just got done talking to Jonathan the General Haggerty. And this part of the episode is where we do the mighty recap, and we recap everything we just went over with our guests. First things first, always enjoy watching Jonathan Haggerty fight. We've seen him fight live in Denver, Colorado. That's when I made my retirement speech. And then I seen him fight in Manila against RODTANG. That's when he lost. No, actually, he did lose the belt when they fought. It was a split decision loss. And a lot of people thought he won that fight. But man, to be able to talk to him and hear his story, 13 weeks, a 13-week camp for Muay Thai, one discipline. I don't think I can do that even for mixed martial arts. Like 13 weeks, that's a long fucking time. And he doesn't do it at home. I think he said he does 2 weeks at the house in the UK. Then he does the rest in Thailand. Like, that's a fucking long camp.
Yeah, but I could see how it could be addicting though. Like coming out,
They did like
someone.
drugs.
I'm saying someone being based out of the UK, right, and getting to just be in Thailand and he's pretty much part-time living in Thailand like that.
Yeah.
We talked to Khalil Roundtree, and you could see he got just addicted to that too. He was like, "Fuck, I wanna live here full time," and I could see it because just once you come here, it is like you just want. I came back. I was here last year and I came back right away. So I think there is a sense where it's like, fuck, this is really cool to be able to spend. Of course, he doesn't. I will say though, it's not like you because you're visioning it with the family, the wife.
Yeah.
He's just a young dude, only 27 years old, no kids.
Yep.
Shit. So
That's true.
It's not bad. It's not bad coming out to Thailand and just doing some Muay Thai training for a fight camp.
I get what you mean. Like being out here in the culture of Thai and everybody's so peaceful, bowing, you're on the beach, you're training your ass off, you're kicking, you're addicted. And then when you know,
which he said also, he trains like at a legit island. Like he's not, he's not in Bangkok. So
That's true.
He's probably just beaches whenever he wants every single day. Like I'm sure the missus, well, not missus yet, but I'm sure the girlfriend, enjoys just enjoy it. Because he said how she actually left her job so that she could live here 9 months with him.
Mm-hmm.
We'd have to ask her, but I'd imagine it wasn't that difficult of a choice.
just leave
spend
the UK
9 months.
and come spend 9 months with you. Oh yeah, let's go. I've heard enough. I'm on board. Well, I always find it fascinating how he started off like his father started with mixed martial arts, and then he didn't follow in the footsteps of mixed martial arts. He enjoyed kickboxing and went into Thai, and he became world champion in Muay Thai, became world champion in kickboxing, but he hasn't touched that mixed martial arts yet. And I think he would do so well because you see so many good athletes come from one discipline. Like I said before, Izzy Adesanya became world champion in mixed martial arts. Alex Pereira, world champion in mixed martial arts. Valentina Shevchenko, mixed martial arts world champion. Joanna Jacek, mixed martial arts champion. There's so many people who come from that background of kickboxing or Muay Thai and they become a world champion. I'm excited to see if he does make that journey into mixed martial arts, will he be able to capture gold in MMA? I mean, he's already beat the champion in the division. It was a kickboxing match, right? And typically when Fabrizio Andrade does fight, he does tend to go the path of kickboxing and Muay Thai. He knocks everybody out with the body kicks and knees to the body. It'll be interesting to see if those two were ever to fight, how would that match go with Jonathan Haggerty?
Yeah, and I think it's because we're in a little bit of a different era where you're seeing people who train. And I remember Roy McDonald, they would always say he was, it's just funny that MMA is such a new sport that he was one of the first guys who they said just started in MMA. It wasn't like, oh, wrestling, boxing, kickboxing. But I think the downside of that is we are seeing more MMA fighters instead of people like Alex Pereira, who he was specifically striking.
Yes.
And that's why his striking is just
so much better.
So that's what intrigues me about Haggerty's. Can we get him some matchups where I don't put him against like some grappler first matchup, of course. Like let him have stand up and it will stand out. Like, because you are these days it's you're having these well-versed MMA fighters and a guy who is just living, eating, breathing, living in Thailand, sacrificing everything for the Muay Thai. I think he can succeed with the right matchups.
I think you brought up a great point. A dying breed. Like you don't see those. Like, I mean, like when you go down the list, Mark Hunt, he came from the kickboxing background. That's all he did until he came into mixed martial arts. You look at who else? Another guy who did it, Alex Pajeda. He did the exact same thing, all Muay Thai kickboxing.
No, and Israel Adesanya too. He had like a million.
It's like their stand-up is different than everybody else's in the division, where nowadays you have guys like, Ranaul, right? I believe like he started in mixed martial arts. He didn't have one specific thing. Like I don't like to count wrestling because I think wrestling is an extracurricular activity you do in middle school, high school, right? But kickboxing is something you have to go out and find kickboxing. You know what I mean? Like for me, I picked up wrestling because it's something I do during high school and I'm gonna do it. It wasn't something like I'm gonna go do karate or I'm gonna go do Muay Thai. It's something you have to go out and your parents have to put you in it, or you have to want to do it. Just that one discipline. Where now, like you said, everybody sees mixed martial arts. UFC won championship. Oh, I want to do mixed martial arts. So I'm doing jiu-jitsu. I'm doing wrestling. I'm doing kickboxing. I'm doing Muay Thai. Or I don't do none of that. I just do mixed martial arts training.
Yeah, if I ever had like a young kid who I wanted to get, let's say I just wanted them to be like a UFC, not say UFC, just an MMA star.
Yep.
I think it would be better to focus on like a discipline when they're young instead of like, hey, I'm gonna have them do jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, Muay Thai, wrestling. Like just let them be really freaking good at one area, and then if they show an interest, then add those. I think maybe I'm wrong, but
I think you're right.
I feel like these days you're seeing a lot more people who are just like, I'm an MMA fighter, so I'm gonna Monday I got grappling, like Tuesday we got striking, and when you're here, these people, you cannot compete with these strikers.
No,
you just
fuck
can't.
no.
It's like with Mikey Musamichi with the jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Here in Thailand, it is the Muay Thai kickboxing.
Yes.
Like, you will not be able to outstrike those guys in MMA. So
no. Well, I mean, maybe in MMA because it's different striking, but an MMA guy going strictly to kickboxing Muay Thai, you're not going to outstrike him.
Oh, of course. If you tried to stand up with, you couldn't have a better example that you are one of the greatest fighters ever. Get put in there with RODTANG, and it's not like you were like, shit, I'm going to stand up with him.
No,
like,
I have to use my footwork. I had to use my mixed martial arts striking to be able to. But if I had to strike with RODTANG for 5 rounds in a Muay Thai fight, I would probably get eaten up a fucking alive, just because it's different timing, different stand up, and even that's what one of the guys said when he was going to fight. We see like a guy like Jonathan Haggerty fight somebody who does MMA striking. It's just a different ball game. They see things different, they throw things different, and it's just night and day difference. But I agree with you. Like that's what I kind of had planned for Tyron and Maverick. It's like if they were to fight, I think one of the strongest martial arts that you can learn at such a young age is jiu-jitsu. Like a lot of people might disagree with me. I say, oh, you should do wrestling, but I think wrestling you burn yourself out because the weight cutting, the shots, all that stuff. Where I feel like jiu-jitsu is a little bit more fun and the gi. You look at guys like Charles Oliveira, he did jiu-jitsu. You look at Bibiano Fernandez, he did jiu-jitsu. There's so many good guys who come from gi jiu-jitsu who transfer into mixed martial arts, and they're such a fucking killer. Granted, I feel there's a point in time to introduce him into wrestling. I think it's in middle school, high school. And then I feel it's perfect to introduce him into striking when you get older, because I don't want the children to get hit in the head. There's no sense for, a 9, 15, 18-year-old, maybe 18, but a 15-year-old kid getting hit in the head, taking shots to the head and getting concussions. So that was kind of like my building platform or foundation for times like, if you were to fight, I want you to have your fucking jiu-jitsu fucking prime. And it's also a great self-defense if he gets in a fight with a kid in school, Soto Gatti somebody and then fucking armbar him.
No, that is interesting, but I will say it does intrigue me of doing the jiu-jitsu and wrestling. Like, just hear me out. If you have a kid and you don't want to force your kid to do stuff. But I'm just saying, if you have a kid that they're like, you're 5 years old, just have them do we talked to Bo Nickel, right? And he when he started, if you did that and the jiu-jitsu, just imagine that. Who cares about the fucking striking at that point?
Well, it's been proven fact that people who are, who come from the wrestling and jiu-jitsu background, they're able to dictate the fight where the fight goes for the most part. Like if we looked on it on like the data from that, if you take, 100 fighters from every division, like 20 from this division, 20 from this, whatever you want to do, and you see what their background is, and you see like the win ratio, who's been able to dictate the fight, I guarantee you the grappling style, look at Habib, Islam, Daniel Cormier, John Jones. Who else can we throw out there? Kamaru Usman, Henry Cejudo, myself. We all come from a background of grappling. Not jiu-jitsu, but some form of grappling or wrestling.
You're sounding like death sentence right now with the realization.
I am death sentence. We haven't thought about teleporter behind a motherfucker, okay? I will say that, all right? But I feel that.
But no one grapples in anime.
Dude, I told my wife, I said, you know what? He's fucking right. Nobody grapples in anime or Batman Arkham Asylum or even Dragon Ball Fighter Z, any of this shit.
Like, it is crazy because if I got in a fight with we're talking about like a real fight with a stranger, like you're probably going to grapple. So
of course.
It is pretty great realization from Death Sentence.
I think he's 1000% spot on.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, when he said that, I had to take a step back and think to myself. I was like, these motherfuckers never do grapple in these video games. Not even Killer Instinct, not even Street Fighter 2. Nope. Besides Zangief. Zangief does
he's a pro wrestler. Yeah.
He's a pro wrestler, but he's also doing a fucking power bomb and he's throwing you, which that's unrealistic. So I don't know. I'm happy that Jonathan Haggerty gave me the opportunity to interview him. I've always been a big fan of him, and he's fighting Qatar, fighting somebody that not a lot of people know. And that's the thing about kickboxing and Muay Thai, is that there's so many good fighters out there. And obviously he came up short against Superlek. He lost his Muay Thai title. I'm sure he's hoping to get that back, but first he's got to take on Wei Rui in Qatar. Should be a good fight. I'm super excited about it.
Have you ever fought in Thailand?
I have never fought in Thailand.
Then that makes one of us that has fought.
That is true.
I forgot to bring. I was looking at my backpack. I'm like, damn, I forgot my gold medal.
Your gold medal?
Yeah.
It's like you were like, you ain't got one of these though. You ain't got one of these.
Yeah. That's what I was. I was gonna just be like, put it right there.
Like, yeah. When you get one of these, then you're a bad motherfucker here in Thailand. You got to drink a beer before you even get in the ring.
Yeah, you don't know. Me and Haggerty are the only ones in the room who know what it's like to just fight in Thailand and have those fans watching us.
I fucking love it.
Maybe we'll get, while we're here, we'll get a sequel. And
I told Desi, I said, we might go to the bar and watch Michael fight again. She goes, oh, he's going to fight again? I was like, I don't know, maybe. Would you want to go watch? She goes, yeah.
Just come back to America with CTE.
Oh, my God. Or you should come back, you should bring your medal to the bar. I'm like, all right, I'm ready to defend my fucking belt. Who wants one?
No, what would have been the play is, because basically when I did that fight in Thailand, everyone's like, the best part is all like the girls are going to see that you have the medal because it shows that you fought. But what I could have done was just like gone to the bathroom, put some water on myself, like pretend that I fought again.
Yeah. And you sit in the fucking ground like, just fight.
I'm sure they're so cheap. It's the same medal that they've had for like years and years and years. And they'll just be like, you missed it. I knocked out that dude.
You want to go out and do something now? You want to go at the champ or not, huh?
Yeah.
That'd be fucking hilarious. Look, Michael's already planning ahead, boys. Always planning ahead. Man, well, that was an amazing interview. If you guys enjoyed this episode of the Mightycast, please leave a like, subscribe. Also, hit the bell to go live. And make sure you guys check out Jonathan Haggerty's social media and his YouTube. Like I said before, he's putting out banger videos to high quality.
No, we were talking to him off camera, like, there's some shit there that even I want to use for some of our future videos, because just using drone. I bought a drone.
Yeah, that's right.
Part of it was watching some of his stuff. Like, I'll admit that's why I bought a drone, is just looking at how sick the training footage is. And no, he's got some legit production. We got to get to his level.
What do you mean get to his level? I think we always get inspired by other athletes and what they do, right? Like Izzy's a person who inspired us. Tom Aspinall. other people out there who are creating content on YouTube. So make sure you guys will give them a follow and subscribe to their channel as well, because I always love to say we don't want to try to compete with other people out there. We want to try to connect with them and help share ideas, help them out there, ever reach out to us. And I think you being inspired by Jonathan Haggerty's film crew with the drone, hopefully we can add some of that into the
we got to find the producer and we'll put him in the description, link in the description. But it was for the Superlek fights, like really fucking even surpassing UFC countdown type stuff.
Yeah, UFC countdown there. I mean, I think our fucking Habib video was way better than theirs. I think it's because of organic and just raw.
They were just looking. They were there when we were there for the filming Umar, and they're probably like, man, they're just fucking crushing us.
Fuck those guys. Yeah. All right, boys. Make sure you guys follow him. Check out his fight as he takes on Wei Rui in Qatar. 1 championship, 171. Haggerty taking on Wei. As always, I am your host, Demetrious Johnson. As my right-hand man, Micro One's over, and we will see you guys at the next episode of the Mightycast.